Coach, talked to some of the players, and Derek Rivers said, hey, everything we want in terms of the playoffs is still in front of us. If we win 4 straight, we should be there. Is that something that you believe too?
I'm not worried about the playoffs right now. I mean, if the playoffs happen, yeah, I'd want that to happen. But what I'm concerned with is making our football team better and getting to the point, doing the things that we need to do to give us a chance to make that happen. Right now, we're not giving ourselves the best chance to make that happen. We're not at that point where we're doing the things necessary to get on a roll. There's too many mistakes. There's too many things going on that are within our control that we can control that we're not doing, and that needs to happen first. But do I think that we're capable of doing that? Absolutely. But some things got to change.
Is it more just mental, Coach?
It's both mental and physical, but a big part of it's mental. Like I said, I think I was talking last night on the radio. Our kids have the right intentions and want to do things the right way. It's us to get them to do it the right way, and to make sure that there's some mental errors here and there, and some things where to be good at this sport, to be good in a good football team, you have to have 11 guys selling out and executing at a high level on every play, and that's not happening for a number of different reasons. But in every phase, and that means every play, every single time, 11 guys are out there that we're getting the type of execution, effort, the things necessary to play up to our capability, and that's our job. It's my job. That's the staff's job to get this football team to a point where we're playing the way we need to play. And you just look at the amount of things that we did the other night. We end up in overtime, and the amount of things that we did, to hurt ourselves, and it's sometimes that becomes hard to overcome.
Has this team taken a step back?
No, what did you say that again?
Has the team taken a step back in the past couple of weeks?
No, we've lost in the last couple of weeks, but I think we've made some progress. But it's just sometimes things get amplified. It's been a work in progress. I've been saying that from the start, since we started at Pitt. And the next week and the next week, and yeah, we won some football games along the way, but sometimes things that are there, maybe not there to the naked eye, things get amplified when you don't win a football game. But I've said we're not near where we want to be yet. And when you lose a couple football games, people say, okay, well, have you taken a step back? No, we've been inconsistent. The culture that we're trying to live by, the standards we're trying to live by in this program at the present, we have not lived up to that yet. And I think there have been some progress in some areas, not enough progress in other areas, maybe more inconsistency in some other areas. Still trying to find some right combinations and people that are, that are going to give us the best chance to win football games. But, so in some areas, yeah, we maybe taken a step back. We've grown in some other areas, but we don't have the level of consistency on an every down, everyday basis that you need to give yourself the best chance to win.
Coach, there was obviously a lot of hype and excitement before the season started. Do you think the level of that may have been unrealistic?
No, I don't. I would think that's going to, I would hope that you have that kind of excitement and expectation every year in this program. But you have to, you have to live up to that. You can't get, as myself, this football team, you can't get caught up in that. You have to do what you have to do on an everyday basis to live up to that. We could be sitting here right now and be sitting here we played 7 games. We could be 6-1, 5-2, 7-0. But really, we could have lived through and really got through a couple of the games and maybe made a play here or there. But really, the reality of where we are, of where we'd be, really wouldn't be much different than we are right now. We'd feel better about it, but there are still things, I guarantee there would still be things, if we were still playing, if our record was different, we'd still things that, believe me, we need to change and need to get better at as we go forward. It's a work in progress. It is. And it's my job and the staff's job to get it to where we need to go, to improve the level of consistency, improve the culture, improve the toughness, the physicality, the effort, all the things and the detail of what's going to allow us to be good, not just over the next 4 weeks, but over a long period of time to get this program where it needs to be.
Coach, we saw a lot of, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but there was some new faces, Darius Townsend, a couple. Is that, you mentioned trying to get the right combination. Is that?
Yeah, we're looking for certain areas. Some guys are going to need to step up. Some guys, there's going to be a couple other lineup changes in some areas where, it's trying to create competition. And, to a certain extent, in some areas, you're still trying to learn about your, guys, about the football team, about who can do what, and when you have a little bit of a new staff. But ultimately, it's I tell the guys, you better be ready. You don't know when your opportunity is going to come. He came in and made 2 big plays for us, and but at the end of the day, I don't really care who it is. But we have to have guys that are going to be accountable to their teammates and ready to go out there and make plays on a consistent basis, not just making catches or a tackle or whatever. It's about doing all the little things necessary for us to be good, and sometimes we're not doing the little things. We're not finishing the way we need to finish, putting that extra bit of effort in there. Playing 100 miles an hour on every single play, and understanding the level of commitment, of effort, of detail, discipline required to be good, and to give yourself the best opportunity to play. And I've said this before: if somebody beats us, they beat us. Yeah, we lost, but I don't want to lose football games. Sometimes I feel like we're losing football games. I don't know if that makes sense, but and we have to. If somebody beats us, and fine. Somebody makes a great play, but there are some things that I go back and it's hard to live with the things that I just believe are base things that are, that are uncalled for, and we're not doing it the way we've been coached. We're not coaching it well enough for it to be executed the way it needs to be executed.
On Saturday, I noticed Shane was not on the field. Is that something you're going to continue to do, or is that?
Possibly. It might be a week-to-week thing.
Tell us a little bit about what Western Illinois.
Good football team.
brings to the table.
Western Illinois is, I think they're a very balanced team. I think they, I know offensively they combine a couple power backs, a couple change of pace backs, guys that are capable of running the football with very good skill at the wide receiver position. They'll chuck the ball down the field. They got probably as good a wideout as maybe the best wideout we've played against all year. And then another kid, that's number 7. I think the name's Lenore, is number 7, and number 1. They have a good group of receivers that can really get down the field, and they combine that with a kind of a little bit of a power running game. Their one back is about 250. And so he's a good player. And then I think they're very good. They do a really good job on defense. I think they're really well coached. They're physical. I think they got a really good set of linebackers. And I think they really understand. They're not real complicated. They'll give you some different things every now and then, but I think they execute very well. And so I think they're a very balanced football team.
You mentioned the mental approach and how important that is for your guys. What would a win over a talented team like Western Illinois do for this football team?
We need to play well. We just need, we need to improve us. We need to fix us. We need to execute our plan, and do it with more physicality, better effort, more consistent effort, and the things necessary to allow us to play good. If that happens, if we take care of us first, and we start, playing not only smarter mentally, but physically, lay it on the line, I think we'll get the result that we want. But that has to happen, and we have to stop shooting ourselves in the foot. And the unforced errors that we're having in different areas, that has to go away. And we got to be a more mentally tough and more mentally and physically tough football team.
Get a little spark from Hunter after the pick six seemed to come back.
I like the way Hunter responded. I really do. Obviously, I didn't like the play. I mean, he kind of turned and threw it before he, really was able to scan the field and see that, he just made a bad decision. But I do like the way he responded. He didn't, he pointed the thumb at himself. He was mad at himself, but he didn't wallow in it. He went on, and I thought he played a pretty good football game the rest of the way. That's a sign of maturity. That's a sign of a guy who's growing into that position, the leadership, the things that are necessary for him to play well.
Can that kind of snowball then, Bo? I mean,
I sure hope so.
If other guys saw that?
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, guys have confidence in Hunter, and I think Hunter has confidence in himself. He's just got to eliminate plays like that. I'm not saying they're never going to happen. I mean, guys are going to make mistakes, but I do like the way he responded.
You mentioned this team progressing in certain areas. Was one of those areas the passing game, and maybe more specifically the deep ball and the ability to stretch the field, which you kind of saw for the first time last Saturday?
Well, we've had that, on and off. But, you just, it's really like a lot of other areas. The level of consistency hasn't been there. We have the ability to do some different things. We just don't execute it all well all the time, and we just got to continue we just got to keep getting better in all areas. We've got a lot of room for this football team to grow, and that has to continue to happen. I mean, every single day we walk out into that field, practice-wise, is very important for this football team, and our guys need to embrace it. And some things and some ways that these guys have, some things have to change, but guys have to embrace the change. There's always going to be different things are going to be different when you have a new coaching staff, a new type of culture coming in. You have to embrace it and listen to the message and put it to work. And we need to do that more consistently. We as coaches have to drive the message through better than we are right now.
Do you see the type of leadership from guys to get that kind of progress, to making sure these guys do take that attitude toward the practice field every day and get where you want to get?
I think we work. The want to is there. I think we work hard. It's just we got to work smarter, the level of detail, the level of commitment, the level of focus necessary on a daily basis is something that we just got to continue to pound home, because it's not easy to do, or everybody would do it. It's not that we're going out there and guys aren't working hard, but they're not trying. Well, but we got to coach it better. They have to execute it better. We have to play with a better sense of urgency every single day. And I'm a one who truly believes you're going to play on Saturday how you practice during the week, and you're not going to be able to go good on good. Meaning ones against ones, ones against twos. I mean, there's going to be some scout work involved there. Are you going to be able to approach that the same way, regardless of who you're lining up against on every snap in practice, and therefore build the habits necessary so you're going to be able to carry that over to Saturday? I don't know if that's always happening. You can get away with some things in practice, But then you got to find your way in the game to only play one way, and that's 100 miles an hour. You know, but if you build, if because of whatever reason you're able to, you know, you can. There's sometimes you can develop some bad habits, and that will carry over and hurt you on Saturday.
You mentioned last week you changed some practices. I think you went hard on Thursday. Do you feel that helped you?
Yeah, I mean, we decided to change it up more as much as anything because of our travel schedule. But you know, I thought some things that we tweaked in the practice schedule did help us. I think we're at that point now where our guys, especially on defense, they're starting to understand what we're doing a lot better as the season goes on, and so it enables you to get some more good-on-good work, and you know, you don't need as much scout time to get ready for, you know, to try to really teaching the defense and the things that we're trying to do. But so I do think some of the things we did schedule-wise helped, but it only is going to help if we carry it over on Saturday. And you know, it's tough. You know, you look at the amount of things that happened in that football game that we did to shoot ourselves in the foot, both offensively, defensively, and special team-wise. And things that, yeah, there are a couple times where they made a play. You know, you shake your hand. You know, you just say, you know, good for them. They made a good play. But some things that I really believe that, you know, we made some bad errors. Some that cost us field position, some that cost us points. You know, losing the takeaway battle. All those things combined, that's difficult to overcome on the road against a good football team, because that was a good football team.
Coach, I'm going to ask you, after the timeout was called for the final play, how much say did you have in that play call at the time?
I let him make the call, and you know, it is, you know, it was that's one that we'd want back. Obviously, I don't think we executed it the way we wanted it executed, but at the end of the day, that's my decision. That's on me. Yeah, that's no one else is responsible for that call but me.
Do you expect Brock Eisen to return, or is he still a ways away from coming back?
It's a day-to-day thing. You know, it's hard to say. You know, when you have a concussion involved, you know, that's not for me to answer. That's for the doctors to answer, and they're going to be cautious with that until they feel 100% that, you know, and that's the way it should be.
With it being Halloween on Saturday, any tricks for Western Illinois? You always have those in your back pocket.
Well, unfortunately, I don't. I just look in the mirror. I don't need to get dressed up for Halloween. So,
I mean, for the game.
like I said, I'm going to be out there. So.